JB, welcome.
Yes, sir.
Uh, I'm
Hey,
I'm
thank you
pleased
for
to have
having
you.
me.
Yeah, yeah, it's great. Welcome to welcome to the Garcia podcast. I wanna say the first time I hit you up, I kind of fumbled in a way, and I wasn't able to get you as a feature like a long time ago, like probably in maybe like October. But now we have you on two features on Allies, so it's great. The features are great.
Yes,
And is there anything you've been working on?
there's been a few things I've been working on. I was going to try to release something by March of this year, but there's there wasn't enough songs to do a project at the time, so
Okay.
I kind of have delayed that project. And then I'm hoping maybe towards the end of this year that I'll have something at least.
Okay. We're excited to see whatever it is. Last album was greatly conducted. How was it? How was it making your last album? What's the structure you go through? What is the what's the process that JB goes through?
So it's a little bit different for each album. Scribbles was my sixth album, but right now it kind of shows up as like my second because I removed my older albums because uh, most of that stuff was when I was like 16,
Mm,
17, and there was a lot of outdated stuff on it. And there was just some stuff that I didn't think forward at the time about, maybe my family or some people will be hearing this someday. So I decided to delete those, and I'm trying to, you know, redo those albums and get them engineered properly.
okay.
But as far as the process for this album, um, in particular, I started on it in about 2023. It was kind of a mix of grief going on in my life. I had lost my grandparents at the time, and I had wanted to make an album that conceptually it's like it sounds like you're writing a love letter,
Mm.
but the further you go into it, it kind of starts to sound like a scary movie almost. That was kind of the concept I was aiming for with this one.
Yeah, Scribbles was great. You had great features. How do you
Thank you.
told me with 1 billion things, you told me that you had to get in this mood to kind of write the feature. How how do you write your music, and what do you have to go through to get that final product right?
So for that song in particular, I was like, I gotta like kind of go a little bit deep, into just my heart, just kind of speak, how I'm feeling about different things. I tend to overthink quite a bit, and um, I was kind of in a mood that day, where it's like,
Hmm.
man, I'm just not feeling so well, and I knew by the end of that night, I was like, I'm gonna have a verse on this one for sure. Um, and for some others, it kind of just varies. Like if it's an upbeat song, and I'll try to think about like what makes me happy. So I just kind of try to go zoom in on what emotion I'm feeling and just write about it.
Mm. Well, I mean, what does get you like what are the main things that get you motivated, and just like what inspires the music we hear?
I'd say a lot of anger, can kind of get me feeling some way. There's a couple songs I've written where just before writing the song, like I've seen like a video about me because there's some people that have reacted to my music, and there's been some things that have been said, so that will kind of get me into feeling a type of way,
Hmm.
and like I'll write about that and you know feel motivation that way. Other times it'll be listening to a song. um, like there was a song I wrote in the past where I listened to the art of Peer Pressure by Kendrick Lamar, and I was like, what if I like reimagine this song a different type of way?
Mm, wow. I mean,
Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah, that makes it clear. I mean, is there looking at Kendrick, looking at is there any artists that gets you in that mood?
Uh, Eminem, Kendrick. Um, I listened to a lot of Nas. I Gave
Mhm.
You Power is probably one of my favorite songs by him.
Why, if you could remember, and we could also say when, why and when did you start making your music?
So the reason why I had started making music was I was just a high schooler and um, you know, kind of just dealing with like high school emotions, like like what am I gonna do someday? Um, just kind of a lot of stress from grades. I was in a breakup at the time as well, and listening to Eminem's music, specifically Recovery, uh, had helped me kind of get through that. And I'm thinking, if his music can, make me feel like, I'm seen, I always kind of wanted to do the same someday for, somebody else.
Yeah, and we're here today, and you have hopes like what is your biggest just like right now? We don't have to say biggest, but like what's a big goal right now? Like what's your next goal? What's the next step ahead?
I think a goal someday is to perform live. I've got some social anxiety about, just performing out in public right now, but think that's a goal for sure that I
Hmm.
would like to achieve someday, and that's probably my biggest one.
Okay. W- we could step away, and I want to get more into an interesting question here. And I want to start asking this to a lot of my guests, and I want to see how you feel about it. What do you, AI, do you think it is somewhat the future of music, of rap, or do you think it is a crutch?
I I really hope it's not the future, just because there's a lot of songwriters out there. There's a lot of artists that I don't feel like we need to use that.
Hmm.
Um, and it kind of transcends across, into like film and stuff. But I feel like if AI will exist, and it sadly seems like it's probably coming to that just with all these data centers being built, I think these streaming platforms should at least say, whether it's made by AI or not.
Yeah,
Like we have genres right now, like hip hop, pop. I think they should have like AI hip hop, AI country, you name the genre there. That way, people know what they're listening to. But there's, I really hope the streaming platforms support actual artists that are, you
yeah.
know, writing their own stuff, performing their own stuff. How do you feel about that?
Well, I feel like it could be good in stems, in separating for samples and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Covers it isn't good, obviously songs it isn't good. Um, a bad thing is like these good artists, a lot of these good rappers are using AI for their album covers or anything like that.
Mhm.
Um, but it could be very easy and even possibly free to get a better album cover than that. Let's get to your promotion on Instagram and just all these streaming platforms. You have you have a lot of it. I wanted to ask how many how constant do you just grind on these? Just like how many do you make?
I try to film, every song from my Scribbles album, almost every song.
Hmm.
And then I try to, get like six unreleased songs and just kind of rotate through them, um, and just kind of post different things like POV, you found a new hip hop artist, um, just kind of things like that. and I think I've gotten to the point where I actually need to record some new songs because I can tell a lot of my bass is starting to want some new material. Like
Yeah.
even my unreleased stuff is kind of seeming like it's old now.
Do you have a structure?
Um, I used to, and I've kind of it's kind of fallen apart these last couple months just because things have gotten a little bit busy. But I tried for the longest time. I was recording videos every day. Um, like there was a time where I had up to 40 videos, just because by the time you change out the outfit, change out the songs, and even get some lighting in there, I had up to 40 videos a day just
Wow.
that I had ready to post.
And that obviously works, right? And if you just stay on that grind, if you promo your music, you can get farther and where you are at today. What's a moment so far you would say in your rap career right now that you were like, wow, like this is gaining a little bit, I'm getting a little bit of juice here.
I think the first time I saw a YouTube video about me, uh, there's there's a couple of videos out there of like worst rapper, worst Instagram rapper, and at the time, sometime on my first view of watching these, they can kind of get to me sometimes,
Hmm.
but I will eventually, I'll laugh at it because I understand my music isn't meant for everybody, and I try to make something for everybody, but there'll just be some people who just don't enjoy it for some reason, which is totally their opinion.
Yeah.
But that got me to thinking about something else with like a wow moment. On Instagram, uh, there's King Crooked. He used to go by the name of Crooked Eye. I'll comment under his videos sometimes, and he'll reply to them, and that's definitely a huge thing for me just because I'm a huge fan of him. I loved his work in Slaughterhouse. He does a lot of work with Eminem, and yeah, he's definitely one of my top rappers. Locksmith would be another one,
Mhm.
and then there's a few others in there as well.
To other people doing the same thing as you, to just other people trying to promote their music every day, trying to get ahead and what do you think is the not method per se, but what do you think works best? What do you think is the way from your experience?
I think just people who are true to themselves. I think that's what will kind of help. Um, yeah, just stay true to yourself. And I'm trying to think of what else. That would be my main one, and just keep working at it. Honestly,
I did I did, and this kind of goes into another question. Um I wanted to ask this. I meant to ask this earlier. There's a picture of you on your Instagram, and it's of you. Uh, you said you got beaten up, basically. Can we kind of learn more about that, if that's possible?
uh, yes. So the truth about that is, uh, that was a picture back from like 2023 or 24, where I just there was a short time where I had gotten into injury makeup, making
Hmm.
black eyes and bruises. And so I had just taken a few pictures, and I happened to find that on my phone a few months ago, and I was like, let me just try to post this, just to kind of be funny.
Hmm.
I didn't do it with the intention of clickbait, but I saw that got a lot of attention.
Well, saying if that was real, right? Obviously, it
Mhm.
would have been in some type of beef or some type of hate. Have you had any beefs in your career?
Um, Either last year or the year before, there was a couple short diss tracks.
Mm,
that I and someone else had made back and forth. Um, that's kind of the only time I've really gotten on the mic and actually responded back. And I was a lot more immature at the time because I would just respond, just kind of being more inflammatory. And nowadays, I kind of try to take a step back and try to be a little bit more peaceful about things because I
mhm,
I don't like beefing with people. I feel like um, there's times where it can be dangerous for whoever's participating or just for music in general, especially when you look back at past beefs in rap. So beef isn't something I strive for, but if I have to respond, I will. But I kind of don't like to, if that
yeah.
if that makes any sense.
And that's fair. That's the way. And if you do respond, you just tell them to get off me, you know?
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter what they say. Um, I right now I feel like this could be your year, really. Do you think that what do you have like planned like for later in this year? That kind of goes into like what you've been working on, but like what do you think is gonna happen this year? What's the
Um, well, so I started an LLC this year just because I had a hunch. I'm like, if this does blow up, I want to
Mhm,
be prepared just for the tax implications. And if I somehow can make a full-time gig out of it, I would love that.
mhm,
Um, but realistically, for me right now, I uh, hope to kind of perform live or just kind of get out more, um, music related, um, and just kind of start to build a fan base, and not just get like comments and stuff on my
yeah.
Instagram. Like I want an actual fan base and to create more than just what's the word? Create a community, I'd say.
Yeah. That's definitely the a big thing. Um, I do see like people with a good amount of monthly listeners, like 3,000 or something. My friend's Dust to Dawn has around that, and
Mhm.
it's mainly from playlisting, and it's yeah, it can give you a lot of listeners, but it's not a real community. And that's not gonna help you in the long run, and that's not gonna see I mean this is the difference. They have 3,000 monthly listeners. You have around like 200 and something, but I would say you are bigger. Way like way bigger. And it's just all about connections in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. And that's actually with the streaming, that's actually one issue that I am trying to work on. It's like, how do I funnel, and turn these viewers and commenters into actual streams? Um, there was a time kind of back in 2021 where I was more centered on that before content creation kind
Mhm.
of started popping off. And I wish I would have kept going with that as well in addition to content creation. Um, so now I feel like I'm back to square one in a way, but I'm hoping, to kind of build that back up
I feel like motivation is the
for sure.
the square root. It is the front and center in making this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Uh, before we wrap up, is there anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to say?
First, I gotta say thank you to you
Yeah.
because those two songs that you sent me, um, I was kind of in yeah, I was kind of in a like a writer's block at the time where it's like, there's a beat here, but I don't know how to write to it, or I don't know what to say.
Hmm.
But when you sent The World in, the very first song that we worked on
Yeah.
together, I knew instantly. I'm like, I know exactly what I want to rap about, and I think I had that verse written within the same day or two
Wow.
as you had sent that. And the same thing happened with 1 billion things, as we kind of talked about earlier. I was like, I'm in this mindset. I I'm just gonna go all in on this. So thank you for helping me, push the pen a little
Welcome,
bit, so
man.
to speak.
Hmm.
And also thank you to, whether anyone has streamed my music, viewed it, or commented on it. I appreciate all of it. Really, all of the advice and comments, help me, whether it's musically or just as a person, because there's a lot of patience that I've learned just from getting into music.
Hmm.
So that's what I'd say there.
Wow. They're gonna. I mean, people are gonna watch this interview and they're gonna be. I mean, you're a good dude, right?
Well, thank you.
And they're just gonna see that, and I mean, people are going to keep on hating. People are gonna keep on talking, right? And I don't really know what I'm trying to say here, but it's just time just gonna keep on going, and you're just gonna keep on going, and you gotta find that strive, find that motivation.
For sure.
Yeah.
For
Thank you,
sure.
JB, for
Absolutely.
being on the podcast. It's been great.
Hey, thank
Uh, uh, in the
thank you.
future, after you maybe drop your new project, we'll probably get you back on. Uh, it's been great, and Owl Eyes, Scribbles, um, listen to everything. Thank you.